Hey YouTube, what's up? It's VP. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about camouflage today. So I'm going to talk about 6 different patterns that you'll probably come across when you're shopping around. Alright, so first up we have MARPAT. MARPAT stands for Marine Pattern. As the name would imply, it's used by the U.S. Marine Corps today. Now, there are a couple different variants of MARPAT, but the one I'm specifically talking about is the Temperate Woodland variant, which looks like this. Now, MARPAT is a digital camouflage, which I have a few more in my list that are digital, so I guess I'll tell you how that really works. Now, digital uses little squares, almost looks like pixels, instead of the stripes and blobs of past camouflages. Now, what those little squares do is it gives depth to the object, and it also it gets rid of rough edges. So that way the background, it allows it to flow through the camouflage, through the pattern more flawlessly than stripes or blobs do. Now, MARPAT with the Woodland variant is a great paintball paddle. The only drawback to that is there are a lot of teams out there that have adopted MARPAT as their team color or team camouflage, so you might not win a lot of interest points or individuality with going with MARPAT, so that's one little drawback. Alright, so next on the list is ACU. ACU stands for Army Camouflage Uniform. As the name would imply, it's used by the U.S. Army today. It was put into action around 2006, but ACU is also, again, a digital, but it's a little bit different than MARPAT. Here, just take a look. Now, as you saw, the color pattern, the color palette is a little bit different. Now, ACU is a universal camouflage, and what that means is that the multi-region universal camouflage, plain and simple, it's designed to be semi-effective, effective in multiple different regions. Now, there's a problem with that. It's effective in all different regions. It's not perfect for any one region. So that's kind of a drawback. ACU is not that great in paintball or in scenario paintball. It's not the best. It's too light in certain areas, and it's not dark enough in others. I know it's kind of mixed match, but it's not the best one. Alright, third up on the list is CADPAT. CADPAT stands for Canadian Pattern, which is used by all Canadian forces today. CADPAT, again, is digital, though it's different from the past two that I've just said. Here it is. Now, CADPAT, it's the Woodland one that I'm specifically talking about. It's a really good camouflage, nice green color, lush. The only problem is it can be a little too green at times. That vibrant green can sometimes be a flag to people looking for you. It's still a really good camouflage for paintball. Don't get me wrong, it works really well. It's just sometimes it's too green. Okay, fletching is the next one I want to talk about. Now, fletching is kind of like digital in its effect. Now, fletching is used by Germany. So here, go ahead and take a look at it. Now, it's not digital per se. It's not the little pixels, the little squares. Instead, it's more of a spotted camouflage. It still has the same effect. It lessens hard edges and allows the pattern again to flow through without any compromisation. So it works quite well. Again, it's right up there with digital. It's a great camouflage for paintball. But if you notice, there's this kind of odd rusty red. Now, that's designed for dead leaves in the fall time, but in springtime when everything is perfect crisp green, that red kind of sticks out. So a little word of warning, be careful when you use that. If you're looking for an all year, from spring till fall, I wouldn't go with fletching. If you have a lot of brown and red in your area, then sure, go for it. Alright, next up is probably the best camouflage out there on the market right now that you can use. It's called MultiCam. Now, MultiCam is used by all divisions of the U.S. military. It works extremely well. It is a great camouflage. It's not digital. It's still kind of stripes and pattern and stripes and dots, but it's kind of a mixture of the two. It works very, very well. If you're going to go with that, for sure, definitely do it. It's great. There is a drawback, though. Sure, you can get your whole rig in MultiCam from your helmet cover down to your shoelaces, but there's an extra cost for going with MultiCam. I'm not sure if it's just a specific pattern, but it costs an additional. I mean, you might be able to get, like, I don't know, knee pads for 20, but to have MultiCam, it's 27. Alright, now, lastly on the list is what I use. This is M81 Woodland Camo. You might have heard it be called Woodland, Classic Camo, whatever. This is what I use. It's not the best, though, sadly. There are pros and cons to this. The colors work quite well in Woodland. Sometimes they can be a little too dark, though. That's one thing to watch out for, and at ranges it gets kind of a blobbing effect. With the darker colors and the pattern, it doesn't really break up your silhouette very well, and you kind of get like the dark blob effect, which is okay. I mean, if you're going to be playing from hilltop to hilltop, then yeah, they're going to see you right off the bat, but I don't really play at that long of distances, so it's fine for me. One really big pro and awesome thing about that camouflage is that it's cheap. If you go to any Army surplus store, you're going to find it. I got that. That's a official U.S. Army used BDU, and it was $15 for that jacket. It's a nice military grade, and it's, I don't know, it survived someone's tour, but it still stands up fine to me running around and jumping in the woods, so it's very hardy if you go with a military grade BDU. Alright, so I hope I covered all the patterns that you might come across. I'm sure I missed a couple, but if you have any other specific ones that you want to know about or have questions on, definitely put them below. I'll check them out. But yeah, that's camouflage. So I'm VP, and I will see you in the sticks and the tall grass, but maybe I won't if you learned anything from this. VP out.